On this episode, we're taking a look at some very cool changes happening in a couple system integrators, plus an interesting look at a new system integrator for us, and we're going to be visiting our old friends at Ironside. All that and more on this episode of System Integrators Weekly.
Let's go, nerds!
Hello everyone, I'm Velztorm. Welcome to System Integrators Weekly, and here we are yet again waiting, and because in a few more weeks we're going to see those 3D VCast chips drop from AMD, and it may shift the entire industry. What's going to be on the top of the charts, what's going to be the better purchases. Now, AMD's current generation doesn't really have anything for those looking for a true budget build in the new generation. So still, AMD is focused more on the high end. We are hoping to see, they have their non-X CPU, so you can get yourself a 7600 for like $220, but you can get a 7600X for like $245. So, it's not bad. It's not the worst. It's just that with it all being DDR5, they are pretty much going to be excluded from the most budget of budget builds. However, for those in the mid-range, upper mid-range, and high end, there's a lot of stuff there. And it's about to get very interesting, and especially considering the vast upgrade path that you'll have coming up. Now, I do understand a lot of you guys may not ever be interested in upgrading your CPU, that once you're at a certain point, you've had your PC for 5 years, it's just time for a new one. But to me, the idea of encouraging you guys in 3 or 4 years who have an AM5 system to drop in a new CPU and get multi-generational uplift in performance just by putting in a new CPU and maybe upgrading your GPU, it'll feel like a whole new system. I already went over a lot of that in the last video, which if you missed last week's System Integrators Weekly, because we were kind of off air for about 4 weeks there, click right here and you can watch that video, then come back, because you'll be all caught up on that, and we can carry on to our coverage, which will be starting right after we talk about the sponsor of today's video, VIP CDK Deals. CDK Deals is an online marketplace that offers game keys for several different platforms and genuine software licenses at drastically reduced prices. You can even use code BRAY25 to get an additional 30% off. Here's how it works. Here we have an OEM license for Windows 10 Pro. Of course, all Windows 10 Home and Pro keys can be later upgraded to Windows 11 at no charge. Keep in mind that you'll need a new key if you build a new system or make major hardware changes. OEM keys cannot be used to upgrade from Windows 10 Home to Pro, so make sure you know which version you have installed. Here in the cart, you can use code BRAY25 to get an additional 30% off. So an OEM copy of Windows 10 Pro will drop from $22.72 to just $15.90. After your purchase is complete, click View Keys/Codes, click Get the Key, and copy it. Then go to your Windows search bar, type out Activate, and click Activation Settings. My Windows install is already activated, so I'll be replacing it, but yours should just say Activate Windows. Paste in the key, click Activate, and you're done. Thank you, CDK Deals, for continuing to support the channel. Okay, I realized something after posting last week's video. I didn't talk about the disclaimers, which to me are very important, and to you are probably not, but I think they should be. So let's go over those really quick. The first one being that this video is being filmed for January 30th, 2023. See, I missed my chance to say that for the first time in the first, wow. Way to go, Bray. Anyway, any pricing and availability that you see here may change. And if you do see something in this video that you like that is no longer available or priced out of your budget when you do see it, then do not worry, come to my stream. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday over at twitch.tv/Velztorm at around 8 p.m. Central. I'm usually a little bit late, but in the new studio that I'll be building and the house I'm moving to in about a month, I probably won't be, because I won't have to set everything up every single time I want to stream, which will be great. Next disclaimer is that I'm going to be sharing some opinions here, and that's one of the good things about YouTube, right? Is people can just make their videos and state their opinions and back them up with their reasoning. And sometimes even skipping that last step if they choose to do so. But I generally will share my reasoning when I'm saying why I recommend or do not recommend certain things. These recommendations are not financial advice. It's just a recommendation. My actual goal is to provide info so you guys can make your own informed decisions. Anyway, that also kind of covered the other thing, the last disclaimer I usually have, which is that you're buying at your own risk, that this is not financial advice, all that stuff. But the other side of that coin is that when you buy something, things can happen. It could arrive damaged, something like that. There is no way for me to actually ever guarantee that, even if I say, oh, this is generally a pretty good company. That's coming from the feedback that I get from my Discord channel, which you can join the Discord server. Link is in the description below, and we have a whole SI testimonials group of channels there where people will weigh in on their experience purchasing from one or another system integrator. If you're interested in one, go to the Discord, check that category of channels and look for the one you're interested in. But yeah, be sure to check that out. It's really cool and a really awesome aspect of the Swarm. And for all of you in the Swarm who have done those, thank you very much. You're awesome. There's another thing that's going to happen this week, early this week, maybe in a couple days. I don't like the audio, the way the audio came out for the Asus video from CES. That is actually going to be re-uploaded, and I'm going to take down the other one. For those of you who viewed and commented on the Asus video already, it was a really cool video, but bad audio can just absolutely ruin the experience. Audio is number one, which is why I'm really leaning on using a mic like this whenever I'm doing one of these, because it kind of helps with audio. So if I'm worried, of course, most people aren't going to watch the video because the ones who want to already have. If you did, please watch it when it comes out again. I know it's going to be a better experience. Going to have better audio. It helps a lot. So let's get into this. There are some really cool changes going on. Two really notable changes that have happened, and I want to cover both of them. PowerGPU is, in case you haven't heard of them, you probably don't have, you don't really follow tech stuff on social media then, because their social media presence is very strong. They're very strong with their community. They have a great Twitch channel, great Twitch stream. They do a good number of builds on there. And they have a lot of really solid partnerships with a lot of streamers and things like that. So that shows intention to really build a strong community, and through that intention, they have done so. But they updated their configurator, and that is my territory there. That is something that I can do, as I basically made a living out of looking at those all of the time. So we're going to take a look at it, see what changes were made. There's some pretty cool ones right off the bat. And let's get into that now. When you head over to powergpu.com, you're going to see this here, and you can scroll and you can read through some stuff that, like, some of their more important points. And then there's just a lot of stuff here. This is actually a really well put together front page, basically. But what we're going to do here is we're going to click the bright orange button, nice contrast here, custom build. And what you're greeted with immediately is something I really like to see, where it'll sort of funnel you towards something that you might be looking for. Now, one thing that I slipped up on myself was when I saw streaming, I was like, oh, it's a PC for gaming and streaming all on one PC. No, you see these sort of pulsing information buttons, hover over that, it'll tell you. Looking for a dedicated streaming PC optimized for streaming performance, then look no further, bring your stream to the next level. This is for a 2 PC setup. It's going to be limited in what you can build in there. But if that's something that you're looking for, they've limited some of the components to really focus on it being a streaming PC. The mini ITX system right here. You got an option for a mini ITX build. And if you're looking for something with a smaller footprint, then you can go in here. So you click gaming PC, which most of their customers would do. And then this pops up, and this gives you a few budget ranges right off the bat. Well, really, it's quite narrow because you have $1,266, and then they hover around $2,000 for the other three. But of course, you can go way higher than that. But what we'll do here is we'll start it good, and we'll see what options are available to us. And it looks like a decent amount of options are available here for cases. Starting with one that is the default selection here, which is a Metallic Gear Neo Air. Going all the way up to the Metallic Gear Neo Cube. This is actually cool because what they do is they separate aesthetics, components, services, and peripherals. Okay. So, when you're in here, you're going to be looking at just the aesthetics, just the looks of it. Okay. So you get your cases, sleeved cables, which you can go in here. And of course, you could pick a color other than purple. I'm not sure why you would, but you could do that. And then you can choose to get a vertical mount for your GPU, depending on the case selection. This is a Fantex one right here, so that tells you which one you should be looking for. As let's look at components. This is where the magic happens right here. So Intel Core i3 12100F is where you start out. Just click change on any one of these to actually change them out. And in this category, which is the good Intel bracket, you can go like best Intel bracket, and you'll have the 13900K and some different case options. Like say you want to go with a 13600K right there. Very cool. And I see you, Jesse. I see you. Okay, it changes up here, so you can keep track of what you're building there. And there you go here, and you go step by step. CPU, okay. Change your motherboard, awesome. And you just go through that step by step. What I might do is I might go through here and aim for an $1,800 to like $2,000 build, because you're looking right now at having a 1660 Super in here, which that's why it's like their lowest price thing. The cool thing about PowerGPU is the builds are very much aimed at what would you do if you were an enthusiast, an experienced PC building enthusiast? How would you build your PC? That's how PowerGPU does theirs. I like to push. I like to sort of push awareness of companies like that, because it may cost you more. Of course, getting a pre-built costs you more. If you're gonna run down into the comments as soon as you can to go put like, you should build it yourself, it'll be cheaper. We understand that. I've been building PCs for 25 years. I know. There's a lot of people out there who legitimately don't want to build or can't build, and whatever their reasoning is valid. There's a price to getting it built for you. These, if you were running a system integrator for, you're an enthusiast, you want to bring together more enthusiasts to build PCs, okay? And you need to pay them, right? You need to, there's taxes to worry about. There's insurance for them, and you have to worry about your shipping, and you're getting all your parts. You're paying your overhead for your facility, and your utilities, and well, all of the things. Also, whenever someone uses a credit card, there's a big fat cut taken out of that by the credit card company, right? And anytime someone finances, there's a cut taken out of that, or they get their interest and all that. But let me ask you, how would you make your money? How would you make that viable? Chew on that for a bit. Yeah, so what I'll probably do is I'll go in here, I'll throw together a build for about $2,000. And like just looking at some of the GPUs here, you can go up to a 4070 Ti with this build. This is looking like it's all NVIDIA here. Or heck, if you've already got a GPU and you just want a whole new platform, pop your GPU into, you can go with the no GPU option. You can even buy your GPU at retail, because that's a thing you can do. Coupon code is gonna be Velztorm. There you go, $50 off right there. So this is because, of course, PowerGPU has joined Operation Code Velztorm. Now, if you don't know what that is where I became frustrated that people could save money on their builds at times, usually just during a holiday or something like that. And I got kind of tired of that. And also, I do this full time, and that was getting increasingly difficult. Plus, I wanted to sort of find a way to sort of bring together a list of system integrators that we're growing to trust, that we've seen in our SI testimonials, that they're taking care of people in our community who basically are an army of secret shoppers, and that they're happy with what they're getting. So it's like companies like that, we get a coupon code with. That does support the channel. It gets you a discount. And basically, everybody's happy. It really works. And because you guys have been doing that, it's helped out tremendously. I've been able to do things like going to CES. There are some very exciting announcements coming up because of that trip. And yeah, so thank you guys for using those coupon codes. And I'm really glad that it's been able to help you guys save some money. We got PowerGPU using it. We have Ironside's got a coupon code with us, gives you free shipping over there. Alexander PCs, similar to this one, you get $50 off any system on the site. Skytech has one. If you're in Canada, Quota Tech has one. And we've gotten good feedback on all of these companies. No company is going to be perfect. Every company is going to make mistakes. And the ones that learn from those mistakes or fix them as quickly as possible, those are the ones that make it on that list. And that is actual feedback we have gotten. Now, a while back, I covered a company called Extreme PC in Canada. And I had a pretty solid rant come out of that one. It was pretty good. It's a good one because, and we can bring up the footage of this, they had an option in the configurator that was, one of them was selected by default, but it was a collapsible option. It was a drop-down menu in farther down in the configurator after all the component stuff, which is what people pay more attention to, where you could pay extra money for extra build quality. Hold up, everybody. For the big ballers out there, okay? Elon, you listening? Platinum assembly, perfected hardware assembly, which you should have done when you trained your builders. Perfected hardware assembly. Because you're being paid for it. I didn't like that very much. It seemed like extortion to me and kind of anti-consumer. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if you don't have extra money, we're gonna just, oh yeah, throw it together. There you go. You got some chewing gum there. That's how we put our CPU cooler on. You don't need the thermal paste. You're good. And I mentioned in that video, I said, because most of these companies will Google themselves and they'll look for videos about their company. I said, you guys might be tempted to reach out. If that option's still in the configurator, don't bother. I will not respond. It is a deal breaker for me, and I refuse to recommend you based on that. So they did reach out to me, and to their credit, it was very friendly and very professional in the way that they reached out to me to go, to talk about it, to open a dialogue. And of course, true to my word, when I saw that email, I went to the site and I checked, and I saw that they still had the options there. Each one of them was just $50 Canadian cheaper. We're talking about this was initially up to $400 Canadian. You could pay extra. And one of the main problems was the $100 option was selected by default. Well, let's go take a look, because I peeked at this earlier, and spoiler, I guess it worked. But yeah, it's a really clean configurator, and I really liked that. And I was very disappointed that there was such a glaring issue with it. Click right here and add it to the cart. So it is very easy to miss that here under software and warranty, there used to be, keywords used to be, that option here that was automatically charging you an extra $100 Canadian, which, to be fair, is maybe real money. I don't know. I'll have to ask Cuddles. I like the Monopoly, like the little, actually, from what I understand, you guys have really nice money. So I don't know why I'm joking about that. Anyway, it's gone. The option's gone. It's been replaced, I think, because overclocking was in the $400 Canadian option. It's been replaced by overclocking. And the overclocking pricing here is actually very reasonable. Whereas before, like if you're charging $400 to build it well and overclock it, that was kind of crazy, because most system integrators will charge you maybe $50 to $100 to overclock, where you can just load a certain version of the BIOS that has the overclock done, and then you just test it, and then like, cool, it didn't crash. We're good to go. That's gone, and we can discuss it now. I'll report back to you guys. Now, if we click details on the overclocking, you actually get, look at this. This is great. Okay, well, okay, you guys want to learn about overclocking? Click on details here. This is what I'm expecting when you're charging someone $400 Canadian and just saying, hey, you want like the platinum experience? I would want to know what that means. My thing though is this. If you are getting a brand new PC, it's like getting a new sports car, right? It's going to be faster than what you had before, preferably, right? So already you'll get more enjoyment out of it. However, if you, instead of driving it for the first time when you buy it, if you instead take it to like a mod shop and have them do all the modifications you would normally do over a period of months or even years, these projects can go a while, before you've ever driven it, you won't feel the difference. So I would say rock it the way it comes, and then dip your toes into one-click overclocking, auto overclocking, and then maybe manual overclocking once you've done enough research on how to do that safely. Lifetime labor. Okay. This is impressive. Lifetime labor. You see, this is why I don't like the thought of just completely writing off a system integrator just because they do something that's poopy and dumb, because that kind of thing can be fixed. people can change their minds. For the entire life of your system, you'll have access to our customer support team. You know, I'm behind that. That's a solid warranty. Now, 1-year parts warranty is pretty standard. That's what you get from a lot of system integrators. So, and with that in mind, you can double the parts warranty for $100 or triple it for $250. So there you go. I like that they changed it. And I will now be willing to do in a future System Integrators Weekly. We'll come back to this. We'll do a couple builds. We'll check it out. And I'm going to respond to y'all's email. Okay, we're going to move on from Extreme PC to something interesting here. So I was browsing gaming PCs on Amazon, which is just like, I don't know, we could make a drinking game out of it basically for a lot of the things that you see over and over. But I came across one that had some pretty interesting looking builds. That was called Velztorm. Now, Velztorm, they had some decent looking builds with some interesting decisions made that I didn't necessarily agree with, but I realized, let me look them up. And that's what you guys should do. If you're looking at a PC on a third-party retailers, because you've completely ignored my advice to ignore third-party retailers and go direct to system integrator who's going to build it for you and buy from them, you can look up a brand because there's some wacky brand names that pop up. Just Google it, look it up. They might have their own website with more options where you can do a custom build. So looking at Velztorm, they've got their whole thing here and they're in Oregon. Okay, so there are some express systems, pre-built system with limited hardware customization to ensure when you buy today, you can play tomorrow, ships in 24 hours. That's crazy. So you can actually do some customization on these. Let's look at the Precision series, which is coming in starting at 1400. Yeah, so let's look at some of these. Terrible airflow, cool case on this one. A bit limited though in what you can do. And here's where let's look at the AUS6 here, because this is in a good case. There are some decisions here I don't like. And every time they use this case or any O11 style case, dual chamber case with bottom intake, side intake, and top exhaust and rear exhaust, they just ignore the bottom intake. They are doing pretty good at these white builds though. And they're doing intake on the side intake on this dual chamber case. Thank you for doing that, guys. Let's look at what options you have. Now here, we're talking about $1,649 with a 1050 Ti. This goes right back to Exotic PC and their thing where they'll have like starting at this super low price. Wow. And they show you this crazy looking PC without saying, oh, this is shown with options. By the way, you don't get this just by hitting add to cart and then buying it. But you can go up to a 6900 XT. Now the downside here is that they're not going to have some of the newer stuff, 7000 series Radeon, RDNA 3, or your 40 series GPUs from NVIDIA. Now, maybe that's just this class. Maybe there's like going to be another class where we can get those. But so they're giving you a 512 as well. You want to go up to a 1 terabyte. Doesn't tell you what kind of PCIe it is. Doesn't give you the option to check for more info. So a little bit of mystery there. Who doesn't like a little bit of mystery, right? When you're spending thousands of dollars. They do tell you it's limited upgradability. And if this really ships in 24 hours, that is pretty amazing. Really amazing. But let's go to their things here and go to the Pinnacle series. That might change what GPUs you can get. Okay, 12th gen Intel and 7000 series Ryzen. Okay, no 13th gen Intel. I mean, not necessary, obviously, because and then it could be upgraded 13th gen, but it is a pretty big performance boost. I'm seeing a lot of 12900Ks. Like, where's the awesome 12700K? So I'm going to move this so I can shrug to full effect. That's a thumbnail right there. That's how thumbnails happen. Look, another dual chamber case where the critical bottom intake, which you can run it without that, clearly, is just not there. It's just not utilized at all. And these are not nearly as pricey as those Lian Li Unifans are. Yeah, so that's the thing, is like, I will keep an eye on these guys. There are some compelling things here where it's like there are some crucial customization options there that you can choose, but like this is a $2,000 system with a 3060. Yeah, we'll come back to this. We'll check them out again later. But Velztorm, we'll see. And yes, of course, I knew how to pronounce your name. Now we're going to take one quick look at our buddies at Ironside here, and haven't talked about them in a while. Ironside is they've been around for almost 12 years now as a a high-end system integrator, and they've been making some of the coolest custom cases for a long time, and now they have their V Shoujo collab, which I don't know how long these things take to develop, but I did see that that was that's becoming a thing. Height doing it, and these guys doing it, but they have a lot of V Shoujo cases here. I mean, if you're into the VTuber thing, like, you've got a lot of options here, and you can just buy the case if you want to build it yourself. DIYers out there, use code IRONBRAYATHORN, all one, no spaces, in order to get free shipping on pretty sure anything on the site. If you're wondering what codes what codes we have in the community for different system integrators, head over to the Discord and go to the coupon codes channel. Couldn't be any easier than that. They have their limited edition, their masterworks, and their partner collabs. So here, Tokyo Dream is a limited edition setup here, and it's really awesome looking. You can get it in white or in black. I would want it with the purple to pink sun rather than the orange there, personally, with the white, and I would be off to the races with this thing. Ironside, please make that happen for me. What? Oh, I guess I already played the, who's this weirdo? What is that? Yeah, Ironside is awesome. I would say the thing is, my whole thing about, like, maybe you should wait only a couple of weeks till 3D Vcast ships come out, and the reviews from third parties, our favorite channels and all that are going to have those. Maybe I might have one. I don't know. I can't tell you right now. I don't know. I'm not that I can't tell you. It's, I literally don't know yet. I don't like telling you to wait if you're not wanting to wait. If you're not the type that's going to be upgrading your PC anyway, and you just want to get, like, whatever the best thing is this very second, you can go with the 13th gen Intel build, and you'll be happy for a very long time. But if 3D Vcache takes over gaming, which it very well might, you might have wished you'd waited a couple of weeks for the system you're going to be using for years to come. If you want to chat about it, come and hang out in the streams. Again, I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at around 8 p.m. Central over at twitch.tv/Brayathorn. And we talk about these things. We just do that. We're crazy like that. And it's a super chill, yet sometimes super hype time. And I'd love to have you there. I think I've talked enough for this one. And we're gonna move on. So watch for the re-release of the Asus video. It's gonna have crispy audio, I promise. I also forgot to put the ad spot in that video, so it is gonna have an ad spot. Sorry, but I was supposed to, and it was a crazy time after CES. I'm very sorry. Plus, we have another CES video coming out as well before the end of the month. Be sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I didn't even mention that while I was at CES, we hit 25K subscribers. Like, I didn't even put a tweet out there. Thank you. We're already well past it now. Whoa. Thank you guys. I will catch y'all in the next video and on the next stream. But until the next one, take care.